Hello everyone, this is Final Bossman, and on this week's episode, it's just a ton of good stuff. It's all good stuff about video games. Welcome to the show. I am Kyle Bossman, and I am feeling very unwell today, very under the weather. Not sick enough where you could call in and say, I don't feel good, can I stay home? Not at that level. This is the weird level. I'm not vomiting, okay? I'm not puking out my guts. I'm not even coughing. It's just like there's hot ooze and there's like gushing through the caverns of my skull. That's where I'm at right now. You know, it's like a slight fever. It's that thing. I feel docile today. I feel like in a movie where someone gets shot in the chest and that person's going to die, and that person's like okay with it, and that person says, it's all right. It's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. And that person's really comfortable with dying. I always really respect that. That's kind of where I'm at today. Today's list, 3 things I would be mad about, but I'm sick. I'm a sick human right now, and bad video game news isn't making me angry because I'm focused on the frailty of human existence. Number 1, Nintendo's finally going mobile, baby. Nintendo did it. They made a weird announcement, completely unexpected, a partnership with a Japanese mobile company named DeNA. I'm gonna assume that's Dana. I haven't heard it spoken out loud before. Dana, help me make mobile games. So Dana and Nintendo are working together to create mobile games for your phone, starring Nintendo characters, using Nintendo franchises. Oh boy, this would normally make me very upset. I would normally make a whole episode about this. Today, not so much. There's good news here. Apparently Dana's gonna help Nintendo. I can't stop thinking. It's like, Dana is such a white girl name. In English, so it's such a funny name for a company. Anyway, Dana's gonna help Nintendo make like a unified ID system that Nintendo's been promising for ages, and let's just like, finally, you know, it's just like, just help us, you do it. I think Nintendo up to this point just didn't care, didn't get it. Just like, what do you mean? Why would you want this game on this thing? And so I think that finally someone who knows what's up is coming in, and I'm not scared. I'm not scared of mobile taking over. I'm not scared of like a year from now, these games making more money than Nintendo's games do. And even if they do, these people at Nintendo, they know what good games are. Remember, again, I always reiterate this, but Nintendo's president and CEO is a video game developer. That's enormous. Nintendo, more than I'd say most other companies, knows what video games are about and what they should be. Those people, they look at mobile games just like we do and say, oh, this is horrible. This is manipulative and gross. This is designed around monetization and not like making a fun game. Yes, all those things. Nintendo knows. And so that's why they say, hey, why don't we just let them do it? None of us here want to make these games, right? No. I want to make Captain Toad. You make Captain Toad, Dana's got the mobile stuff covered. Number 2, Episode Duske performs very bad ske. I told you I was feeling a little sick. Final Fantasy 15. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you something about my current work situation. Like, ever since I started working at Game Trailers, I never get to play a game and see that for the first time. It's always like every game you're interested in, you see someone else playing a week before it is sold. That is basically the situation here. Because that used to be the feeling. You get the game on its first day and you're like, I'm the first person to play this game. And it's like, no, there's 100 dudes in San Francisco with plaid shirts who played this before you did. You're never first. But with Final Fantasy 15 and the demo, Episode Duske that came with Final Fantasy HD, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, this thing, in the Game Trailers office, was only Damiani has it, only Ben has it. They're the only true Final Fantasy fans, so you're not going to see it. And because they're out of the office, I know nobody gets to see it. All right, fine, whatever. Then last night at I think like 8:11 p.m., GameStop calls me. And again, I don't condone pre-ordering. I know it's stupid, but I still do that. GameStop calls and says, hi, you can pick up your Final Fantasy Type 0 HD at 9:01 p.m. If you want. And I said, okay, I will see you at 9:01 p.m. Really cool thing, GameStop is aware that you can download games now and are apparently trying to compete with digital. I always appreciate that. So I got to play this game before watching someone else play this game for me. And you have to realize, at this point in my life, it's rare, it is very infrequent for me to get excited happily about things, anything. So a video game that I'm excited to play, that I'm not like, some games I just play with anxiety. You put it in the machine and you're like, okay, and then I'm anxious, I hope this isn't bad. In this case, I'm excited to play this game, and it is even more infrequent for a game to exceed expectations, and this game does. This game has a Final Fantasy vibe, but is also the strange, like, next-gen-ness. What if, like, old Final Fantasy games, you're applying a lot of imagination. You know, you're just wandering around in a field and then a behemoth appears and then it kills your party. To be in this game today, where a behemoth is an actual creature in this environment and we have to be careful around it, and it snarls and breathes and makes your controller rumble, to be scared of a behemoth is such an incredible thing that I just feel like, wow, finally a new thing on a new console that I didn't have before. It feels like that, but I mean, you can look at this. It runs like dirt. This runs so poorly. This frame rate, there's no like official Digital Foundry at this point on this or anything, but you don't need a machine to say this is 10 frames per second. That's so bad. But you know what? I don't care. I love it. I don't care if this is the best the PlayStation 4 can do. I don't care if all our games are going to be 20 frames per second, because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the game. And, you know, frame rate, whatever frame rate, you're fine. Don't worry about you. Number 3, Battlefield Hardline has a dumb story for idiots. Battlefield Hardline, from the beginning, has advertised itself as like, no, our vibe that we're going for, our feel, is a TV show that's like a cop drama. We're gonna bring you that. The thing is, if you took the story of Battlefield Hardline and pitched it to an actual TV studio, they would say, what is this? You have nothing. It's like, no, we have something. Did I tell you that some of the cops are bad guys? Like, get out of my office. This is nothing. These are no ideas. But that's what we have. That's what the story is. And so basically, yes, you get to play a video game that feels like a less than normal TV cop drama. Like, there's no hook to it. It's just like, there's good cops and there's bad cops. Play the game. This game was written by a writing team of Rob Outten and Tom Bissell, who previously worked together on Gears of War Judgment. And so you could say, Kyle, they wrote Gears of War Judgment. What are you expecting, man? What do you want from them? But we gotta dig deeper. We gotta at least read a Wikipedia page or two. Tom Bissell, by the way, it's absurd to me that video games have two prominent people named Tom Bithell and Tom Bissell. It's too confusing. Tom Bissell, by the way, used to be a games writer, used to be like a legit journalist, traveled to Afghanistan, traveled to Iraq, was in the Peace Corps at one point, then wrote for the New York Times about video games, wrote about like Grand Theft Auto 4 and his getting over his own cocaine addiction and how that relates to how he feels about being addicted to this game. Whoa. Much respect. Yes, I have intense respect for that. However, how does the same person who recovered from an addiction to cocaine, in earnest, write this scene?
Think we hit the mother lode.
That's $9.9 million worth of coke.
What are you, drug Rain Man?
Come on, let's leave it for the cops.
I'm not letting cops take this.
Then what are you gonna do with it?
We're in Los Angeles. I can unload this in 6 days.
What am I talking about? I know a pro basketball player. 4 days.
Tyson, I'm not kidding. Let's go.
I'm getting this out of here. You can help me if you like.
That forklift goes like 0 miles an hour. You'll get to Hollywood by next week. Oh, come on. Hey, Tyson.
I'm not blind.
Oh, then what are you doing?
This goddamn thing, I'm almost free.
Well, maybe you get the hell out of it.
Tyson, goddammit, get behind and push. Come on. Balls. Fuck it.
Not a word.
If you are confused about why that scene should be funny, let's enter the final bossman humor detection chamber. Chunk chunk. Here's what's funny about this scene. First, we have a billionaire drug dealer, maybe a millionaire drug dealer, a very wealthy drug dealer. He says, okay, I'm gonna drive this forklift full of drugs out of here. And the other character, Boomer, this is called the voice of reason. This is very smart. Says, how are you gonna drive a forklift out of here before the cops come? And in return, this other character, instead of justifying his rationale, simply goes. And so then immediately after that, drives it onto some railroad tracks. And so the railroad, there's a train coming. There's a train coming, it's going to hit this thing. Now, here's the next funny part. This is part of the humor of this, is anybody rational, like a good human, would help move the forklift off the tracks, because if a train hits a forklift, there is going to be death. Humans will die if that happens, but the funny part is they just tell him to get off. And then he refuses to because he's very obstinate. But in the last minute, he's pulled off of it, and there's an accident. The next funny part is we come into the headquarters, and all three guys are covered in cocaine. Instead of shrapnel and debris from that forklift explosion. And then to punctuate this whole humorous event, the very funny line, not a word, which we are to presume is because that woman was probably going to ask why they didn't wipe off the cocaine during the car ride over. Let's exit the humor detection chamber. Okay, whew. That was a very, very funny scene, wasn't it? No, it wasn't, it was stupid! The whole scene was very stupid. And so when you're going out there to make likable, funny characters, if you're making this is a character-driven story actually, and you write dumb scenes like that, no matter what else, you just wrote a dumb story. And the thing is, why I'm not mad today is that's okay. It's okay that Battlefield Hardline's story is dumb. I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm gonna see that story through to its conclusion. Not because I care about those characters. If they all died, I'd be okay. I'd be like, yeah, that was a cool ending. No, it's because the game is fun. And so yeah, I think I love this show. A lot of the times I'm like talking about why story's dumb and it's ruining games. It always at some point, it's like, Kyle, stop complaining about the story if the game is fun. And it is sometimes. Other times, man, just enemies spawning. I can't stand that. If you shoot a guy in the head, nobody hears it. If you miss him, everybody immediately knows where you are. We can all wear thick framed glasses and tweet about how good True Detective is, but there are still millions of people who love CSI, and we can't tell none of them they're wrong. By the way, Ted Danson is on CSI right now. Ted Danson, the star of Cheers, is on. You could probably watch an episode this week and Ted Danson's gonna be on it. That is, what a world. This is all one world that we all share and live in. So there's room for everybody. Battlefield, it's fine if you're gonna be dumb. Slimy yet satisfying. That should be the name of this show. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Bossman. Welcome to Slimy yet Satisfying. Before I go, actually, a little headline popped up over the weekend suggesting that there may be a teaser for Final Fantasy Type 1 at the end of Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. And the thing is, I can't, for some reason that sounds really familiar to me, but I can't quite place where I've heard that before. 2. Final Fantasy Type 0 HD has a teaser for Final Fantasy Type 1. I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes I forget that I'm a mad genius. Sometimes that slips my mind. That I'm the coolest dude with the most video game knowledge on the internet. Sometimes I forget that. That's when I get sick. I can't remember things. Everyone, that's the episode for this week, believe it or not. If you're on Twitter, you can find me at Kyle Bossman. I'll be back here next Wednesday. Hope to see you then. Welcome to another episode of Final Bossman Tips and Ritz Bits Sandwiches with Cheese. I'm Kyle Bossman, and here's something you probably missed in Battlefield Hardline. On episode 6, Out of Business, you travel throughout the game normally as you normally would, up till the end of this part, where they're saying, get in the car. Here's the thing, don't get in the car. Get up here, travel across this thing. Get down here to where the level actually started. You'll see 2 suspicious characters. Hey, who are these guys? How come I can't shoot them? Look a little closer, buddy. That's your friend Boomer. Well, who's the guy who's got his back turned to me? Let's check him out. That's Nick Mendoza. That's you, pal. Just another cool Easter egg that totally puts this game on par with TV cop dramas. And this has been Tips and Ritz Bits Sandwiches with Cheese, sponsored by Ritz Bits Sandwiches with Peanut Butter. Ritz Bits. Not great for your health, excellent for your self-esteem.